I am now the chief of the North Charleston Police Department. North Charleston is the third largest city in South Carolina, with the goal to be the number one city within the next couple of years. The community is growing tremendously. There's a lot of industry coming in to North Charleston. The projected forecast of the city is very healthy. The mayor is doing innovative things to bring in more businesses and grow this community, which made it attractive to me when I was applying to be the chief. So it's almost 400 people that report to me, and a community of about 120 to 130,000. That community jumps to about 200,000 people during the day. It's very busy. North Charleston is the only place in the United States that makes planes, Boeing. We have a huge Boeing factory here, and cars, quality cars. Mercedes-Benz also has a factory here. In addition to that, the low country here, we're bordered by two rivers, and one of the rivers has deep water ports. So there's a shipping that comes in here. It's a very important shipping area along the eastern seaboard. There are military bases that employ people. It's a very diverse community. There are a lot of retirees or people like me that want to get warmer in older age. We are unique. For the first time in my career, I have a harbor unit. I have boats and officers trained on these rivers to assist. They can go all the way past Charleston City out to the ocean to assist, like the Coast Guard and stuff like that. Now sit on the board of that port, which is super important, having to do with the challenges of port security. So that's something very new to me, to get educated on those things attached to a port area and how vulnerable they can be, how to mitigate those vulnerabilities. I came from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, a department that was 35 officers. Theoretically, I should not be here. Convincing somebody that you're the right person for the job when coming from a smaller place to get to a place in a department this size are quite daunting. But I've never stood still. They wanted me to replicate what I did at Chambersburg and what I've done in other places in my career, bring that here. One of the things that I learned that I didn't know was how important your reputation / your digital footprint is. When I got here, half the department, or it seemed like everybody that I met, especially everybody that I met with rank, knew a lot about me. They scoured my Facebook, consulting website, YouTube for anything that I was on. They reference other podcasts that I've done with you, Nancy. They ingested all the articles that I printed out. And thank God, almost all of that stuff is positive. And almost all of that stuff really shows who I am, my philosophies, and how I care about officers and want to develop them. When they read that, they were applying pressure internally to the mayor. Hey, we want this guy. We like what this guy has to say. We feel like we can follow him. When I got selected, there were a lot of smiles, deep breaths taken. They have hopped on that Camacho train and we're going in a positive direction. I didn't realize how important that was. As I go forward with coaching and mentoring potential chiefs or executive candidates, this is something I'll teach them. It's important to make sure your reputation is protected and built upon. And it's also so important that you have that good digital footprint. If you've never written an article before, go write an article, get it published. If you're maybe start a YouTube channel, if you're on social media a lot, make sure that you're showcasing who you are, because when you get to that job, it could mean the difference of, hey, we think that person's sharp, but we really don't know that person, to we think that person's sharp and we just did a deep dive. They felt very comfortable with me, my leadership style, what I have accomplished. That was the deciding factor on me getting selected. The kind of tsunami of positivity and pressure internally to say, we know who we want. This is the guy for our chief. Nobody's tougher on me than me, especially when it comes to leadership and making tough decisions every day. People can say they're a leader, but if you're not having tough conversations, you're not moving the ball forward, your organization's going to suffer. excuse me. So I've really become very comfortable at having those tough conversations. The person I see in the mirror is accurate. I walk around here like I'm a normal person, and I respect the amount of authority and the power that's given to me. I don't allow ass kissing in my organizations. I'm looking for talent and hard work. What I've endeavored to do, and I taught this workshop and have done some work on how to develop self-reflection, understanding who you are and being honest with who the hell you are. And with only that honesty can you really improve and make strides. I know all of my weaknesses. I fight my weaknesses all the time. I've written articles on ego. And when you're a chief for a long time, and now I'm a chief at a way bigger place with a lot more responsibility, got to fight that ego every day. I got to make sure that I'm in check every day. I gave my expectations to everybody in the department. So I went to lineups and I went to speak with the individual specialty units that we have and gave them my expectations. It's about being on the same sheet of music, understanding my mindset, letting them develop this power of self-reflection. Let's see them move in the right direction. The potential for this department is awesome. There's a lot of talented people here, and I've been given all the ingredients to push this department forward, and combining wellness with crime prevention and the ability to accurately and effectively fight crime and make arrests. When you put those together, you're going to get a hell of a department. That's my goal.
Chief, let's hear more about how you communicate your vision for the department. What is its role in the community?
My mission is twofold. Number one, community engagement. We have to engage positively with the community. We need the community on our side. This community is very supportive of the police department. For a city type area, I was a little surprised at how much support this department already has. Well, we gained it. We have to protect that support. We have to grow that support to the best of our ability. And that's by being professional, good at our jobs, and being compassionate, having that ability to listen and solve problems to the best of our ability. Huge. Officer development is the other message. We need to develop our officers, putting the best product on the street. We're really good at solving crime. We're really good at engaging people, and that they have something to look forward to, so that when they hit their 25-year mark, they're more marketable than the average officer from the surrounding departments, because we have invested so much in them. Recruitment and retention are issues, right? So now the word is getting out that they have this crazy chief from Pennsylvania that is talking about bringing the coaching platform here, which we're on our way to do. And that is wholeheartedly into mentoring. And I think that's a key to keeping people here, knowing that if you stay with me, you might not get paid as high as some of these neighboring departments, but I'm going to work tremendously hard through the majors and captains that are under me to develop them to the best of our ability.
I want to move this just a little bit to the perspective of the community. And I wonder if you can translate what it is that you're doing for the community. What is it that the police department does that makes their community feel healthier?
Yeah, I think the connection is just being available and listening to their issues. We're going to listen and address the best way we can. We respect their concerns. We're partnering up with them because we need that information. Yeah, I think sometimes, chiefs, you're in that office, maybe you're on an upper floor, right? And you lose contact with the officers. You lose contact with the community. I've made it a point, a super strong point, to make sure that I'm out on the streets with my officers, to get to know them, but to also be in the community. I spend a lot of time with community and making myself accessible to the community. What I found and what I have felt is a fear among the Hispanic community. Okay. We have a large Hispanic community here, one that shocked me. I did not expect so large of a Hispanic community here in the North Charleston area, but they're here, they're active, and engaged with the department. So cool. But I felt that, and we fielded calls, and we've had to put out stuff on social media. And now I've been drawn into this political arena that, quite frankly, I don't want to be drawn into. And the bottom line is this: municipal cops do municipal policing, and federal cops do federal policing. And sometimes there's some crossover, but never in my 30-year career were cops doing immigration raids. We just don't do that. And I think those raids are rare in itself. So I just said, hey, to allay fears of the community, we're not doing any raids. And some people have thought that was popular. Other people have thought that was not popular. So then I had to go back and clarify. Just because we're not doing raids doesn't mean that we're not cooperating with the federal government. Yesterday, I had a meeting with the ASAC of Homeland Security and ICE here, and he was great. And it just shows how important these partnerships were and how much that we're sharing information to begin with to make the city safer. So it was just something small, nuanced, right? And I had to explain myself to say, if we have fear from that certain community, and yet on the other hand, we're conducting these raids with ICE, which I haven't seen yet. I know they've happened some places across the country, but not here. We're going to lose the trust that we've spent a long time, way before I got here, building with the Hispanic community. And I don't want to lose the trust. So we're just not going to do that. We're right now conducting a Citizens Police Academy, but for the Hispanic community, called the Latino Citizens Police Academy. It's getting a lot of attention, very positive. Again, doing the things that Citizens Police Academy do, opening our doors to the community, letting them in and understand the law, why we think the things we do, our policies, our procedures, and just engaging positively. This has been a great thing. Yeah. So again, here we are spending time, effort, money to put on this academy. And if our guys were over there running down, doing some raids, it would be counterproductive to what we're doing. You know, who I am, being that I was a former guy that had some mental health issues. You know, I was a very angry young captain in my early 40s and my first police department, just incredibly angry, always on the edge, loved confrontation, loved arguing with people and making sure that they knew that I was the boss. Through therapy, my own therapy, I've changed my whole attitude, put that ego in check, and really now I'm looking out for people. That servant leadership mentality of, it's not about me, it's about them. And I found blessings when I start thinking about other people way before I think of me, and those blessings have come to me tenfold. Here, I don't care where you're at. You have to have that ability to have that honest conversation, and which are tough. They're not easy. You have to develop that skill. And that should include compassion, empathy. It should not be you yelling at somebody. No, we're trying to get to the heart of the problem, but there needs to be some closure at the end of that conversation, which again is difficult because you're being very honest with people. And in today's society, what I'm seeing, and I've seen it my whole career, it's that honest conversation, especially when it has to do with careers, promotions, somebody's mental health. They're very hard. They're very hard to have. We need to use every skill that we have by being honest with them. You could be brutally honest, do it in a respectful way that they'll respect you, or you could be a jerk and be brutally honest, and that message is not going to penetrate them, and you've done nothing but hurt somebody's feelings. I've had to do that multiple times here, and I've been developing that skill with the leaders, and we're just trying to change culture towards accountability and more towards, there are no surprises. If I'm going to tell you ahead of time what I'm going to do so that you're in control, you're the master of your own universe, you're the master of your destiny, and whatever you decide to do, you're in control. And I think it's been very successful so far in this little time period here. We've had people taken off the street, get that help, come back, have those tough conversations, and then see them move forward. If you've been doing something, a task, and you've been doing it the wrong way for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, some people 30 years, it's going to be hard for me to break that bad habit, right? They've had these bad habits ingrained in their system for a while, and now it's me trying to rehabilitate and change those habits to fit in what is the right way to run a police department.